Boom. We are live. What's going on, everybody? Bryce McKinley, Coach Sharpen. You know what time it is. I'm going to apologize in advance if there's any technical difficulties because I am on my hot spot out at the lake. We were going to go jet skiing right after this call, and it's windy. So I jumped in my car, and I can't find my Bluetooth or my headset. So I'm super, super glad you guys are on here this evening. I've got a very special guest, but before I talk about that, what up, guys? Cranston's going to jump on with you guys, and I'll be out in like 30, 40 minutes after this call. Go ahead, bud. Middle school millionaire in the house. Peace. So we got some friends hanging out at the lake. I mean, this is what we do this for, right? Like, I want you guys to start like showing this stuff off, like what you guys do and why and how you do it. But I'm super excited. I mean, you guys know that are part of my academy. You guys know, I mean, heck, you guys know better than anybody. Like, it's all about consistency, and we show up every Tuesday and every Thursday for these calls. And so, you know, for those of you that aren't a part of my academy, once a month, I'll stream it out for the public for our Q&As. But every Tuesday, we do a Topic Tuesday. And every Thursday, we do an open forum Q&A. And so this is your opportunity to really dive deep, ask questions. What are you struggling with? Things like that. Role play, objection rebuttal, and hell, even sometimes we call some deals. I mean, I got 3 contracts today. So just because of quarantine, like, people are selling. And I got a home run in South Dallas today, y'all. Like 45 grand. It's probably going to sell for 80 to a builder that'll build a new house that's going to sell for like $800 to $1 million home in South Dallas. Pretty excited about it. So people are still selling. People are still buying. But before we go any further, I need to recognize some people in the room that I haven't seen in a while. So what's up, Ida? I love that you're in here. I know Minion's around there close by somewhere, or hell, maybe he's not.
Yeah, he is. Hey, what's up?
What's up, Minion? I want to recognize Mario, McLean, Gozine, Tony, Bernie, Joseph, Serena, Angie's in the house, and Mike Ardner in the house. These are my Academy members for those of you that aren't and you're watching. I'm going to post a link in the comments. If you're watching live, just jump in and be a fly on the wall if you don't know anything about real estate, or heck, if you do, chime in, ask questions or whatever. But before I go any further, we are streaming in the Wholesaling Real Estate Tips and Techniques group. I need Mike Gardner, do me a favor, share this into our inner circle so that our other Academy members can come back and watch this. Kyle, I see you on here and you're about who I'm talking about next. I need you to share this into the Leading Through Change group. So we're hitting 3 groups in one today for a reason, because we're all called to do bigger and better things, right? Like, the first thing that God said is be fruitful, multiply, dominate, and then spread the word, right? And so that's what we're in here doing. And I've really been on this mission the last couple of days, just getting in tune with God. I call him Jesus, you call him whatever. Like, I'm not going to discriminate. I'm not that Christian. But I want to open this up with an announcement. For those of you in this academy, I'm talking about huge things keep coming, and we've been working on something massive behind the scenes. And so you guys that have been asking questions about creative finance, I told you, hey, I don't know everything, but I know what it takes, but I know people, right? I want to introduce you to my new business partner, Kyle Clemmer. Kyle and I are partnering. We're going to bring his coaching students in, you guys over in his, like, kind of merge the two together. It's a strategic partnership to be better than ever, but also to have a little bit more structure, because you guys know me, I'm a visionary. I'm going to go 100 miles a minute. I've been through 2 director of operations because they just can't keep up. Kyle's going to be my tether to keep us organized, hold me accountable. And you guys that have been with me from the very beginning, you guys get to be a part of this. As you can see behind him, he's got Templeton Real Estate Group. Every House and Savvy Real Estate Investors are 3 of his companies that he owns. You guys already know I've got REI Results, the Academy, a holding company, a rental portfolio, a management company as well as a brokerage. So between the two of us, I mean, you've got hundreds of millions of dollars in business and knowledge and wisdom. And so I'm not going to introduce him. I'm going to let him introduce himself. So Kyle, do me a favor, tell the Academy members that are on now a little bit about yourself and kind of what you see from your perspective and how this is going to benefit them with your creative finance wisdom and knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks. I wasn't even planning on being here, but it was like, I've been busy.
I know.
I was picking out fixtures all day today for a house that I'm finishing up. So like, let me tell you, there's nothing more exhilarating right now than spending 4 hours at Floor and Decor debating the different shades of black. No, I'm really excited. So, we've got our real estate brokerage. So between my business partners and I, we've got 2 Keller Williams market centers. We've got about 500 agents underneath us. We've got every house, our investment arm, that does we do a little bit of wholesaling, we do fixing, we do flipping, we do it all. And then the savvy real estate investors. And where the beautiful marriage between what Bryce teaches and what I do is, so Bryce is very high impact sales. This is the type of conversation you have. This is how you turn bigger numbers. And where my coaching program comes in is that we teach people how to build a sustainable business model and a process. So we go into where to find information in kind of the deepest, darkest recesses of, you can find the best information that's available is actually free. And so we teach our students how to find that. We teach them how to evaluate properties differently. We teach them how to go out and get money. We teach them how to go present themselves, basically taking your real estate investment skills to the next level. So building the business side behind it, the CRMs, this is how you implement the processes. So, I try to put out Bryce's fire with gasoline, and we blow up from there. Because the major thing that, holds people back when it comes to real estate investment and being super successful is the necessary sales work and sales skills that go into it. And that is entirely Bryce's wheelhouse. So for us, we take, his systems and we add processes to it. So I'm looking forward to what we're going to be able to put out with you guys. Because the nice thing is that we're going to be able to hit real estate from all different angles. So if we have licensed real estate agents that are in here, we're going to be able to take you to the next level. If you're an investor, we're going to be able to take you to the next level. If you're someone with money, we're going to be able to take you to the next level. So if real estate in general is something that you want to do, because, Bryce has done, some 7,000 transactions. My business partner, Robert, has done, somewhere in the neighborhood of 8,000 transactions himself in various facets. And then my business partner, Matt, the Templeton part of this, has done about $500 million in retail sales personally, on top of now running large market centers. So, Bryce doesn't do anything little. And so when him and I started talking about this, I was like, man, it's going to be world takeover. So I look forward to working with the existing nucleus that you have with REI results and getting them bigger results. But now, taking this and projecting it to the rest of the world, because it's just, we're a bunch of do-roos. I'm out there doing my thing every single day. Today, I was out at my properties, overseeing work sites, making sure that jobs are getting done. So like, I'm young, I'm getting my hands into this thing each and every day. So I look forward to bringing the knowledge to you guys and putting some money in your pockets.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Kyle. I couldn't have said it better. That's why I let him say it. So that's the big announcement that's been coming for y'all. And so I know that some of my VIP students that I work with one-on-one continuously, they kind of had a little closer idea, better understanding, but I wanted you guys to see it for yourself. So I didn't make an announcement for an announcement. I just made the announcement. So I'm glad that you guys are here. I'm glad that you guys participated, and I love that you guys are here. So with that said, we're live in a couple of groups. This is open to the public. If you are watching us live, thank you. Write a comment down below and let us know where you're watching from. And click the link at zoom.us/J as in jam /972-638-7501. So with that said, this is open Q&A. That's what we do on Thursdays. what questions do you have for Kyle or myself that we can help you guys just get clarity around, maybe get have some fun today? It doesn't matter. We're just not going to do nothing. That's, you know what my saying is. Let's go. You guys take yourself off mute and let's have a conversation. Now, don't everybody speak at once. Can you guys hear me? Like, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
You know, I can
got you, Coach.
I can maybe get this started for people, unless someone's got a question. I know one of the things that I've been getting asked a lot on both the investment and the retail side is, what does the outlook of the market look like with COVID-19 and all of this kind of stuff? Should they be running into the market? Should they be running away? What type of play should they be making? From our perspective and our analysis of the market, real estate itself is holding really strong. So, you know, a lot of people are hearing the news media talk about 2008. And so one, you know, that was a construct of the banks and their poor underwriting processes. So I can promise you that's out the window. But then the other thing that a lot of people are not understanding is that, so in 2008, right now, the biggest share of home ownership is with the baby boomers. And so the baby boomers also owned homes back in 2008. The difference is they had less equity in their homes. And so right now they estimate there's about $15 trillion in home equity right now across the board. Whereas when we had the mortgage crisis back in 2008, a lot of these homes were upside down. So that was what was causing the crisis, is that right now, if someone were to fall behind on their home mortgage, and the bank has to foreclose, the bank is actually going to make off like a bandit, because back in 2008, when they had to foreclose and everything went belly up, there was no equity in the homes. So the banks were really just eating it. You know, not only were they, you know, I could get into the whole mortgage underwriting thing and all that kind of stuff. Just watch The Big Short. But now if the same phenomena were to happen, it would actually strengthen the bank's portfolios, because they wouldn't be taking as big of a loss. So like, what do I mean? Why do you care? Is that this whole thing is built around, you know, we're talking about getting deals for the you know, best value, I guess. And so being able to find, like, so for people who are going to be experiencing foreclosure, for experiencing bankruptcy, having to short sale, we as investors are going to find a lot more deals at that 60% range, that 50 to 60% range, and people are still going to be exiting their houses with equity. So, you know, when you're using Bryce's techniques on how to negotiate with these guys, there's going to be a lot more room. We're going to be encountering a lot more houses that are free and clear. And depending on the area that you are, you know, I'm here in the DFW market, so like we're kind of an anomaly on how all of that goes, because it's a super strong market. But as an investor, you can flip right now in real confidence, because one of the other things that killed back in 2008 when they were going through all of this stuff is that there was a market saturation. So there was just too many houses on the market in relationship to the buyers. And one of the things that a lot of markets are seeing right now is a lack of inventory. So it's kind of the perfect storm. We've got about a good 6 to 8 month runway before we see kind of an uptick in houses on the market as it relates to buyers, you know, because, you know, again, you know, the media does a really great job at kind of like fear mongering and all of this kind of stuff. Is, you know, like now the banks are raising their loan criteria. The thing is, and they're, you know, oh my God, there's 20 million people unemployed. The thing that a lot of people don't understand, that's most of the people who are unemployed are subprime people that are trying to get mortgages. So they're going to have a hard time qualifying for bank loans anyway. So you have to remember, the people that still have jobs, that are still making money, qualify regardless of the bank increasing, you know, going back to a paper. The bank is just trying to solidify their stance in this whole thing. You've got to remember, mortgage rates are still phenomenal. And so you're seeing still a really good, you know, it's, if you're, someone in here who is flipping houses, like for us, like in my every house, look at me being the weatherman here, pointing my virtual background, but we do a lot of flipping and it's a beauty contest, so the one thing that I would encourage you all not to do is cut corners when you are flipping your houses. Make sure that your finish outs are good. Make sure that if you've got some sort of wonky flow in the house, like those are the houses that are going to get caught in the market. But if you've got a house that's priced right and done well, it should move pretty quick. And the biggest piece of advice that I give to people in my group, that I give to my agents and other investors that I work with, figure out what the median home price is in your area and stick at or below that. Generally speaking right now, because what was it? Fannie released, it's like a conventional loan just got bumped up to like $415,000. So, keep it below that. Generally, houses that fit below that bubble don't get affected by this. So regardless of what happens to the market as real estate investors, so if you're a wholesaler, also keep in mind that you want to keep your ARV at or below that, so you don't get jammed up, so you don't get hung up. So it's like you've got houses with high equity, get a really good buy, but then also make sure that you are not going above a certain threshold, because what's happening a lot right now is like you're going to see like millionaires dump their houses. Do not chase the white rabbit. You'll get hung up with that one all day long. But as the market, if the market starts to turn for one reason or another, take houses 200,000 and below and snap them up, because as soon as, if people start pulling money out of the stock market again, they're going to put them in these little cheap rentals and tax shelter the hell out of their money while they wait for the storm to blow over. And as wholesalers, you can pick up a sweet buy for $80,000, flip it quick for 90, tell that guy to put $30,000 into it and cash flow it for, $1,200-$1,300 a month, depending on the area, and just sit on his money until he pulls it out again. So these are, I figured, since no one was asking questions, a lot of the questions that I get right now are, well, what should I do? Right now is the best thing, network with people who have money, because a lot of the hard money lenders are really hesitant right now about how they expose themselves. So if you can go out and form a good relationship and earn enough credibility with someone who can take down these properties, this is going to be your fastest path to cash. Because it's, DFW turned into a ghost town as soon as everything turned around, because all of the fake wannabe wholesalers that, were just trying to flip paper couldn't sell to investors who were leveraging hard money, because the hard money lenders who were lending at 80% went all the way down to like 60 and 50%. And so it's like, these guys didn't have money. They were broke. They can't I can't put an extra $30,000 or $40,000 into a deal. Sorry, man, this ain't the game for you then right now. And so, but if you find people with money as a wholesaler, my God, you can bank, especially if you're able to find these deals and stick your noses into places where you're buying them at 60%, 70% on the dollar, and then sell them off at 75%. Don't get greedy. Right now, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. And if you want to be a hog right now, you're not going to move deals. But if you want to be a little piggy and, snap up $5,000 here, 10 grand here, 15 here, my God, you will make money hand over fist. It's a volume game right now, and you can win at it, because the investors with money, like ourselves, like we're fortunate enough to have a good private money network. We are running headfirst into this storm, because we know that we're going to fix the houses up right. We're going to get in deals at a good number. We're going to sell them quick because of the lack of inventory.
Oh, that was some gold, y'all. That was some gold. I seen Vic taking notes, Kazim taking some notes. I love it. You guys give me a thumbs up if you guys are hearing everything loud and clear. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. For all of you watching on the live stream, thank you. I see you on my phone over here. Drop a comment. Let us know where you're watching. There's a pinned post. You can actually jump in and be a part of this Q&A and ask your own questions, and we will do our best, even if you're not in our market, to answer them. So you guys, what questions do you have for Kyle or myself, or what kind of troubles or deals are you working that maybe you need some help with?
In terms of markets, right, are there specific markets that you would say are more advantageous than other markets? Or would you say all over the country, you're going to get deals like this available? Or should we focus on some strategic markets?
So look for markets that have aggressive foreclosure and like bankruptcy laws. So a state like Florida or Wisconsin, that it takes, it could take in excess of a year. So the thing that I like about Texas is that from the time that they push play on a foreclosure, it's about 30 to 60 days. And even if you stand in the way of that train, it's like 6 months. So, those would be areas that I would look at. Also right now, just pay close attention to what states are doing as far as the eviction laws. So I know that in Florida right now, they're about to lift their moratorium on evictions. In Texas, it's June 1 that we can start to push play. And so that would be my biggest thing is, the thing that I teach my students a lot is if you're trying to find markets to really take advantage of, it's going to be ones that as soon as we kind of get the economy, we get out of this shelter in place, it's going to be the ones that are going to be aggressive. We've got a backlog here in Texas and it's going to take us a little while to catch up, but like June 1, there's just too many houses. And so, but this is also a really good time where I'm very people first. I'm very much be an advocate. So you can even reach out and talk to people who know that they're going through that foreclosure process. Be like, hey, it's no secret. I'm sure that with Corona, your lease on life hasn't changed a whole lot. I doubt that you got a $50,000 windfall to get you out of this jam. But what I can do is, give you the peace of mind that I will source a buyer. I will find a buyer for this to help you get to, like, this should be one less stressor for you. So like, this was a big thing that I was telling my real estate agents when they were doing the lead generation, is just let them know that, okay, you are going through the foreclosure process, but you've been blessed in that because of what's going on, it's going to be a little bit longer until you're forced to make a decision. Work with me now and help me transition you so that we can do things on your own terms and this isn't being ripped out from you. And so like, that's a big thing. So be very aware of where your state stands, but then look into the foreclosure laws as far as that goes. And identify the markets that are going to be most aggressive with this. But then the other thing too is that look at market trends. The reason why I like markets like DFW is because there's a high, or even Texas, just because we get a lot of California castaways, which is whatever. But we are kind of immune to a lot of market factors because there's always going to be continual turnover. So when you're looking to markets, like that's why Phoenix is a good one. Phoenix has a lot of influx of people from the outside. So not only do you have your typical market turnover, you've got people coming in from the outside. That's just going to be continuously generating a new flow. And we as investors are going to cash in pretty big right now because new home construction in a lot of places is down a ton. So what does that mean? If they're not building homes, they've got to flip them because people want to live in nice places. So this is just going to be something that stimulates a lot of that economy, and we can get into different types of lists and things like that. I haven't even talked about, bridge loans that are sub $2 million that aren't federally insured that, a private bank is going to have to foreclose on just to save their ass on. This stuff goes deep, guys. It's a good time to be alive.
Top 3 markets, in my opinion, is anything in Texas, Florida, or California. Those are my 3 states that I work. I just picked up a deal today in San Diego and Bakersfield Hill, which is just overloaded with retail right now. They have way too much retail and too much inventory, and so people need to sell fast because they've got too much on the market. And then of course anything Texas, in my opinion. The great thing about our group, you guys have all the tools to do this virtually, and even what Kyle's going to be teaching you over the next several years, like however long you decide to stick around, like we can make what he does virtual because you already have the tools and understanding of how simple it really is. Now it's just adding tools to your belt. So if you guys are watching on the live, this is live Q&A with two new business partners merging two coaching programs to help both of our audiences have more tools in their belt. And so I'm glad that you guys are watching. I hope that you guys are learning something out there in the live world. And I hope that answers your question, Gazim. Next question, McLean, I see you jumped off a mute. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, this question's for, Bryce, how soon are we looking to roll out the merge?
That's a great question. So we should know more tomorrow. We actually we've got SOPs and things like that we're writing out, and he and I and Cynthia and our other business partner that is his business partner that we're joining together are meeting tomorrow. And so you guys aren't going to feel anything different other than the fact that, like, once or twice a month, as Kyle's schedule permits, like, I've already got you guys on my calendar every Tuesday morning, every Thursday afternoon, right? Like, once or twice a month, Kyle's going to jump in here and be, one of the speakers. And then, of course, we'll have that guest speaker as well, like we already do, whether it's, a Matt Maddox or a Cody Sperber. We're working on some massive things, but you guys won't feel anything different other than more wisdom in the room and more access to that wisdom. So probably looking at, realistically, about a month till launch of the relaunch. And then from there, I mean, right now you have access to him. I'm going to be putting him in our group when he's ready, but he's got, 3 of his own companies that he's got to take care of. And so you just know that you have access to more knowledge and you won't feel anything different other than a lot more structure and a lot more consistency and things like that. It's a great question.
Gotcha.
Go ahead, Bernie. Or McLean, did you have another question while we're on you?
I had a one for Kyle. Hey, Kyle, can you hear me?
Yeah. Bernie, I'll come to you next, brother.
So I was driving whenever you first hopped on here. You like to do like creative financing deals, is that correct?
I mean, the thing, like the way that I teach it is there is a know all of your options. So, and then it's just when to deploy the creative financing. I don't like people who force creative financing deals. It's just figuring out how to extract the most amount of money out of it. So it's like when the time is right, use it. But we do teach creative finance, absolutely.
Okay, good deal. I didn't know if it was like one part of it or whatnot. I'm trying to add that to my tool belt just for this shift in the whole market, especially I'm out here in East Texas, so I'm down the road from you.
Okay. Yeah.
Like our demographic, it's a lot of 60 plus. They've owned the house for 30 years. They paid it off 20 years ago. So I'm really trying to add seller financing and owner financing or wraps onto my tool belt.
Sure.
So just glad to know that you're able to come in and help source that information for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you guys will get to meet him as well, but my business partner, so his name is Rob Roberts. He's actually a real estate attorney. And so like his thing is, he goes, I have 5,000 transactions under my belt that I have documentation for. He goes, it's probably closer to 8. He goes, but then it gets a gray area of me, getting called on it. But he'll talk through like the legalities of all of that stuff and when it's sensible. The last thing that we want to do is like real estate for people who try to deploy creative financing tools, if they aren't intimately familiar with how it goes, especially with wraps, because the last thing you want to do with a wrap is, trigger a due on sale clause. And then you screw everybody else over. But there is, especially now, you're going to see a lot of subject to seller finance and things like that, just because of what's going to happen when you start to see kind of that bubble of people who, the thing is that the banks are trying to work with people right now as best that they can, but that still requires people to call them because, they're still contractually obligated to honor the original agreement. And so if you're struggling to adhere to that original agreement, it's actually against the law for the bank to turn around and say, hey, McLean, don't worry. We're going to move your payments to the end of the loan. That's why the federal government, if they're going to do that, all that to be said, Yes, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for creative financing deals, and we will cover that intimately just to make sure that if and when you decide to approach a deal with that mindset, you can do it with the confidence and knowing that you've got all the information that you need.
Okay, we'll deal. I've got another question, but I'll let someone else talk for a minute.
Bernie, you are up, brother.
Yeah, hey, I was wondering, when can you get Caleb to come and drop some more of that fire he was dropping the other night?
That's a
I'm
great
serious.
question. You must be talking about Leading Through Change, which is that's a whole nother Facebook group where we go live every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Central. Just a little plug for Leading Through Change.
Because I'm telling you, dude, that was awesome. That I was so geeked that night, I couldn't go to sleep till like 5:30. So
you never know what happens during hour 3 of Leading Through Change. that night was incredible. That night was incredible. We're just go with it, man. Just go with it.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I can't thank Kyle. I've thanked Bryce. I didn't get the chance to thank you, but yes, thank you so much, because that night
you know what? Hearing that it did something for you, honestly, that's why we do it. That's like Bryce and I selfishly get motivated off of this kind of stuff. So hearing, you, Bernie, how motivated you are. I mean, cool. We could shut it down tomorrow and we did our work. So I'm glad to hear that.
No, you can't.
No, we started something, man. We started something. The train's moving too fast right now.
Hell yes.
I love that, and thank you for that, Bernie. I that means a lot to me as well. And so if you guys are watching and it's not real estate related and you just need some inspiration and some motivation, like you need some help going through what you're going through, like 9 p.m. Central, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday in the group Leading Through Change, join us. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. We had a couple of billionaires in the group that are admin. We had some celebrities jumped in on the other night. What Bernie is talking about there, we had some celebrities at like hour 3. Normally it's only about a 45 minute to an hour, but it was so much fire being dropped on, what was that, Tuesday night? No, Monday night.
Yeah.
On Monday night that we had some celebrities and some pretty famous people that jumped in. So if you guys aren't a part of that, please join that as well, especially you guys out there in internet Facebook world. So yeah, so let's talk some real estate. We got about 20 minutes here. I got friends and family and my kiddo out at the beach, out here at the lake. I want to make sure that we get some real estate like tips and techniques and tricks. Like I want to pour some fire. So who's got a question about real estate? John, I love that plaque, by the way. You'll appreciate Kyle. He's also a Packers fan and from Wisconsin. So
I was raised right.
John Baran's one of our OGs. He's been here since one of the very beginning. John, I'm talking about that big plaque on your wall there in the middle. Yeah, buddy. You know what time it is.
Well, I'll say something.
Real estate question. Go ahead.
I'll say something real quick. Welcome, Kyle. Appreciate you coming into the group. It'll be great to hear your knowledge and moving forward on some of this creative financing stuff and different aspects of it. I flip myself and also do creative financing deals and wholesale deals. I like the creative financing aspect of it because it allows us to offer money on pretty houses by doing a creative deal on a pretty house where you won't be able to touch it with a wholesale deal. You can go in there and do a creative financing deal. So if someone just bought a place or just got their place just finished and they need to move out of their place, you can go in there and get a creative financing deal, whether it's a wrap or just they own it outright, and you can just take over, just start giving them a payment and put a tenant buyer in there and close the deal that way. So I'm looking forward to hearing your yeah, exactly. Get some good strategies and tips and stuff like that. So welcome and I look forward to working with you.
Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you.
Vic, I seen you taking notes, brother. What questions do you got?
Nothing right now. I'm good for now.
Kyle, Vic is one of our OGs. He's been here from the very beginning. He's done a little bit of everything. And 9 times out of 10, you see this guy just chilling, relaxing on the bed, hanging out with the kids. You're gonna love him. You're gonna love all these guys.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So awesome. Mario, I know you're just getting started, brother. I know this might even be a little overwhelming for you, my friend. I'm curious, like, where are you at? What questions might you have? And man, tell us your thoughts, brother.
No questions right now, just absorbing everything. You know, like you said, I'm just getting started. So I'm just right now putting my head down and grinding on calls, you know, and like Matt Maddox said, you know, you can't really turn around and think about it or put your head up until you make those 1,000. So I've been calling, like, you know, a few hours a day and like 4 hours a day or so, and just speaking to people, but you know, just trying to get to that 1,000 and just trying to create my craft, you know, just get better by feedback. You know, there's no such thing as failures, you know, it's only feedback. So, you know, just just love it, love the energy in all the groups, and, you know, really excited to be around people like yourself and Kyle and all the people that come together in this group, especially in leading through change. So it's really awesome to be a part of it.
I love that. Thank you, Mario. Do me a favor, move your mic up just a little bit closer so that we can hear you a little bit louder. And real quick, anybody have any questions? Because if not, I'd like to do a role play with Mario if Mario's willing. Are you willing to participate?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Hey, Mario, also something that's good that I'm working on right now, that Vonage has an app that you can download onto your phone, and it actually will record your calls. So you can actually record a call and then actually play it back later to hear exactly how you sound. You'll be amazed at how many you actually say.
I love that.
You can actually clean it up, and you know, and you know, I'm gonna probably share a few of them in the group just so that everyone can hear how horrible and god awful I am, because I really suck. But at least by bringing that up and sharing that, it'll show, you know, everyone that there's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, it's just a matter of getting the marbles out of your mouth, and then you'll be able to streamline your pitch and make it happen.
Yes, no, definitely. I appreciate that a lot. Excuse me, I'm just getting the script here. I was calling on this other section, so I just gotta, everything fell on the ground, so I just gotta put the papers together really quick.
McLean, I know you can hear me. I didn't ask, and I apologize, but does anybody got any wins or some results that they want to celebrate? You don't have to if you're superstitious like some people I know.
You talking to me?
Serena, go ahead.
We're going to go look at a duplex this weekend, and it's going to be for $60,000. The owner lives in the top section that is already pretty much fixed up. It's the bottom section that they've been working on, but she's just kind of done working on it. So rents will probably be about $600 each. So
Nice.
we're going to work on that.
I like it. I like it. Congratulations. That sounds like a sweet deal. McLean just shared something with me. I put him on the spot, but hey, we got results. We need to talk about them so other people know that this is the real deal. So, you guys, one other thing. Yeah, I'll let you make as much or say as much as you want, or even if you don't. But here's the deal. I sent you that link, McLean, one. Number two, Michael said the Vonage app. You can record your calls. You guys, I would also highly recommend, and please, I'm asking you, like, I'm not begging you, but I'm asking you, even if you turn your camera off, just live stream right into the Facebook group, our Facebook group for our academy, like our private group. just so that way it's just us. You don't have to feel self-conscious. You can turn your camera off and then just minimize the screen and then go about your calls. So that way we can all listen to you because we're all working with the same script, the same tonalities, right? And we can all help each other out. And you guys know, first thing in the morning, I'm in there responding. Middle of my day, I take 15 minutes out in the middle of my day. And at the end of the day, 3 times a day, I got a time block to check y'all's comments and posts and things like that. So you guys live stream your calls right into the group and then boom, you've got your recording. You can listen, you know, you can see your tonality, you can hear your tonality, you can see your body language. And yeah, so that's another way to keep it recording and get a lot more feedback. So McLean, I had to put you on the spot, bro. That's too good to keep to myself, but I want you to share it.
I'm not superstitious because everything's already lined up. Everything's already executed. So we're good. So first off, I'm going to warm up to the big reveal. Today, I got back from the title company. We are clear to close on 3 properties I've been working on for the last 2.5 months. The former title company had messed up so much work on it. There was 6 errors on each property. I finally got them all cleared off. We got the clear to close. So that's the upside. The big reveal is I'm leaving my corporate sales job for a SaaS company that I've been planning to get rid of and fire my boss. My D-Day is next Friday, May 15th.
Woo!
Right.
Give it
Awesome,
up for
bro.
McLean. Dude, that just gave me goosebumps, bro. Like I'm sitting in the sun, that gave me goosebumps hearing it. I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. So
Congratulations.
I think a year ago, I was like, oh, this is cool if I can get enough deals to like pay off some debt and whatnot. But in the last 6 months, 7 months, it's more like, no, this is real. This is a viable pathway.
You guys all remember when I first spoke to you and quote unquote sold you into the academy, right? Like we just had conversations. You guys all remember, like if you were in your job and you wanted to quit by this date, I always ask, like, what did that look like? Do you remember that? McLean, you've been with us now, what, 9 months?
Coming up on 9, yeah. Because I
And you
just
said
started that
12
corporate job and I
months or
was like, I
less.
want out.
Yeah, 12 months or less was the goal.
Yeah.
Look at you now, baby. I love it. Bro, I'm so honored to work with you, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for sharing that.
I appreciate you. We need to go to Hutchins.
For sure. Bro, they're open now. What's the excuse? Let's go. Tell that Larry friend of ours to get his butt over and let's do it.
Is he even on here?
Now that McLean's going to be making the big bucks, I say when we all meet for the mastermind this year, first round of drinks are on him.
We're going to need to structure that owner finance.
Oh, you guys are amazing. I love it. I love it. All right, y'all. Anybody have any other wins they want to celebrate? Otherwise, I say me and Mario do a little catch up on some role play and practice this script. All right, let's do this. Mario, you know what time it is. I'm going to turn my camera off so you don't see my face snarling at you. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not, because I don't want to mess anything up. I'm like holding this thing with my thumb and it's like throbbing. So it's like in the right position with the right signal. And we've been good so far. I'm not going to touch anything, but I'm going to call you, or you're going to call me. I'll pretend to be the homeowner. And I need you to walk through the script. I need you guys to make some mental notes, maybe take some notes. Let's give Mario some feedback. He's one of the newest members in here and he's been grinding. So Mario, call it up. Take it away, brother.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Ring, ring. Hey, Bryce, this is Mario. How are you?
Hey, Mario, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for asking. So, Bryce, the reason I'm calling is simple. My partners and I buy houses, and we're looking for a few in your neighborhood. If I made you a fair offer that made sense, Would you sell me your house today?
Yeah, Mario. Just for the record, I think there's a little bit of delay on my end, so bear with me. I'm listening. I can hear you crystal clear, and I see you crystal clear. Yeah, Mario, man, I'm glad you called. I called a couple guys, and one guy didn't show up, and man, I got to get rid of this thing, but I'm not giving it away.
Right. No, Bryce, appreciate you sharing that with me. I mean, you said one guy didn't show up. That's definitely got to be frustrating. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I don't know what his problem was. I called him and he said he was on his way, and I called like 2 other people, and one guy showed up and he lowballed me, and the other guy never called me back after he left. So I'm just kind of, I got to get rid of this house, but I don't want to give it away, Mario. How much can you offer?
Yeah, that's a great question. I appreciate it. You want to get right to the point. I actually don't know anything about the property. I'd like to have a little conversation just so that way, just from our small conversation so far, I know that you want to get as much as you can for the house because you don't just want to give it away. And I want to give you as much as I can for the house because I want to make sure that we get a win-win on this. So, Bryce, now it sounds like you've been thinking about selling for a little bit here. Tell me a little bit more about that. What's going on?
Yeah, I got this house maybe 10 years ago. It was a little bit bigger, and moved the whole family in, and now, the kids are out of the house. It's just me and the wife, and man, I'm ready to go shoot some pigs and live in the woods and just kind of live the simple life, brother. I mean, is this something that you think you could do?
Oh yeah, definitely. That sounds exciting, by the way. I look forward to the day that I can do that myself. So the kids are all out of the house. So are they? They're all grown up now. They went to college.
Yeah, they kind of did their own thing. They didn't really go the college route, man. But yeah, it's just me and the wife. So not a lot. We just got a lot of stuff that we're gonna have to pack up. So I mean, how long does this take?
Well, it all depends on how quickly the title can clear. But as long as it makes sense, we typically close within 30 days. Now, you say you and the wife want to go on and move. Where are you guys thinking about moving to afterwards?
Probably head out to East Texas. I've got a buddy, his McLean, and he lives out there, and yeah, probably go hang out with that dude.
Nice. Okay. So you got some friends out there?
Yeah.
And so now, Bryce, man, it's Thursday. It's almost 6 o'clock. Man, tell me, what are you doing that's allowing you to talk to me at this time? Are you staying at home like most of us right now? Sounds pretty quiet over there.
I'm glad you called. I'm actually just sitting in my car, about to go back out to the lake because I didn't have any Wi-Fi at the dock. And so, yeah, man, I'm ready to go jump on the boat and have a cold one and hang out with my friends.
Nice, man. You sound retired.
Yeah, I dibble, I dabble,
Okay, yeah, I hear you. That's pretty exciting, man. It sounds like you got a lot going on. You're hanging out with the family and stuff like that. Want to go on and shoot some pigs. That's pretty exciting, man. I got to tell you. So, Bryce, I won't take up too much more of your time. Now, let me tell you. So typically when I speak to someone, they want to know what I do, how I do it, but more importantly, how much I can offer for their house. Do you have those same types of questions?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And besides that, help me understand, why are you interested in selling your house today?
It's just getting too much to handle. I mean, we had several, a couple kids and their friends stay here, and it's just me and the wife. I don't need 4 bedrooms anymore, and it's just too much.
Getting a lot to manage. So is it like the cleaning of it that's the harder part of it, or what would you say?
I don't really do much of the cleaning. I think I'm trying to maybe help my wife, ease that burden off of her. And if I had something smaller, I could help her more around the house. It's like as soon as I finish one project, there's another project,
Yeah. Sounds like you've got a lot going on. So Bryce, how big is the house?
All right, I'm going to stop you because we got like 2 minutes and I don't want to lose you. Bro, hands down, the best role play I've heard in a long time. That was amazing. Your form, like, on point, bro. On point.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely great job, man. Great job. I want to make sure I give everybody else a chance to open it up and give their feedback. 2 things. One, make sure you're mirroring and matching their pace. So, I was really energetic. Kind of step up your energy a little bit, right? Like hear that energy. Other than that, like your tonality was perfect. Your tonality was perfect. I mean, literally, I know the script verbatim, and you said word for word everything verbatim, excluding your rack and your questions, which gives you an opportunity to go to the next script line in the script, which was beautiful. Don't forget to ask the address, because then you can confirm the square footage, bedroom, bath, right? Like, so, hey, tell me, what's the address of the property you want to sell today? So that way you get the address and you solidify again another today, creating that subconscious urgency. And then once you have the address, it looks like it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 1,200 square foot. Does that sound correct? So that way they're like, no, it's actually this, this, and this. And they give you the information without you actually having to ask for it. So it doesn't seem like 20 questions. They're just confirming it. But other than those 2 things, bro, that was hands down the best live role play I've heard in a long time. And you have come like 180 degrees, bro. You should be proud of yourself. Anybody else catch anything else that would really help Mario take that to the next level? You want to give him some feedback?
Hey, this is Minion. I've been listening the whole time, but I'm driving. I kept saying to Edie the whole time. I said, damn, he sounds just like Bryce in that script, word for word. I said,
yeah, buddy.
Really? So I was like, man, that was a good job. I'm like, Bryce, the only thing I'm going to add, man, was be a little bit more energetic. And I could tell Bryce was trying to pull a little bit into, let's get there. And that's something that's a little bit hard to pick up sometimes. It comes over experience. But, man, awesome job. So it's going to be hard to piss people off with your tonality on the phone.
For sure. That's great feedback, bro. Thank you, Minion.
Yeah, I agree. I second that
You're
motion.
welcome.
If you've seen, I remember when you first did your first role play in the group, and from that to this is 100-degree turnaround, 100 or 360-degree turnaround. My only criticism of the whole entire thing, I think you did a great job. Your tonality was good. I thought the pace was slightly slow, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. They don't know, the person on the other line doesn't know, what the deal is there. After he went into the thing about expressing to you why he wanted to downsize, basically, and then you went back into that question a second time, I would just, instead of following the script every single line like that, I would have said, oh, well, I already know that you want to downsize. And then I just would have went right to the next question. We've established that you wanted to downsize. And then I just would have went into that thing. That's the only thing that I actually thought that was maybe just a little too much. Besides that, everything else was perfect. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Guys, awesome. We need to go because we're at one of our rental properties. Sorry, but thank you for today.
First world problems, Ida. First world problems.
No, we have some repair estimates to take care of. So,
results, baby. I love it. Y'all have a good day. I got to jump off as well. But before I do, Mario, love you, bro. And I appreciate you being vulnerable. I love you for just crushing it and being an astute student and taking the execution. And I second what all of these guys said. Like, dude, You're going to be an assassin. That deal is like right around the corner, bro. And I'm so proud of you. So before I go, does anybody need anything from myself or my team before we jump off? Going once, going twice. I got to show you guys this view without the sun in your eyes. Oh, shit, we got the caddy out. This is Lake Louisville, the marina over there. It's too windy. I'm about to drop my computer and my Post-its for my notes. So, all right, y'all. I love you guys. God bless you. Stay sharp. And I'll see you Tuesday at 9 a.m. Or if you want to be a part of the group, Leading Through Change, Sunday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. God bless you guys. Stay sharp. Look forward to seeing you guys all at the top. Take care, y'all.
All right, Coach. Have a good one. Enjoy the lake.
Thank you, guys.